So in this question here, I've got to solve for x and y, and I'm given x minus y equals 19 over 4, or x times y equals minus 3. So got two equations with two variables, so therefore some sort of simultaneous equation would be handy. Now I've got x times y here and x minus y, so it's a little bit awkward. So what I need to do is to isolate one of my variables from this equation. So I'm going to choose to isolate my y. So therefore, taking this and dividing through everything by x, I'll get y on its own. So therefore y equals minus 3 over x. That's just by dividing everything by x. So now what I can do is I can substitute this value into here. So let's try that. So x minus, my y is minus 3 over x. So minus 3 over x. And that's still equal to 19 over 4. Okay, so now I've got x plus 3 over x equals 19 over 4. So sorting the brackets and the two minus signs out. So now I've got an x and a 4 in my denominators. So let's multiply through everything by 4x. So times by 4x. So 4x times x is 4x squared. Times this by 4x, I'll get 12x divided by x, will just give me 12. And then multiply this by 4x, I'll get 19 times x, and then the two 4's will cancel out, numerator and denominator. So that just equals 19x. Okay, so 4x squared plus 12 equals 19x, a little bit like a quadratic. So to make that just like a quadratic, I'll bring this 19x over this side and then set it equal to 0. So then I will be left with 4x squared minus 19x plus 12 equals 0. So I've put the 19x in the middle of the two terms on this side. Okay, so now I need to try and solve for x in here to get my first values. So with a quadratic, there's a couple of ways we go about this. We can try and factor, or I can use the quadratic formula. With this, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. Now my values here, my a is going to be 4. My b is minus 19. And c will be plus 12. So all we're going to do now is plug them into here, get my values. So now I've got minus 19, plus or minus, so therefore I'm going to get two results. Minus 19 squared, and then minus 4 times a times c. 4 times 4, let's take this off the board. I don't need that now. And then c is 12. Okay, divide that by 2 times a, which is 2 times 4. Okay, let's simplify this off. So now minus 19 gives me 19, plus or minus square root. 19 squared, that's 361, minus 19 squared is the same, so that's still 361. And then minus 4 fours are 16, 16 times 12, that's 192. And then divide all that by 8. Okay, let's simplify again. So I've got 19 plus or minus 361 minus 192. Well, 361 minus 200 is 161, and then add on 8, 169. And then divide all that by 8. Now square root of 169, that's pretty handy. I know that is just 13. So therefore x equals 19 plus 13 over 8, or x equals 19 minus 13 over 8, using the plus and minus. 19 plus 13 is 32, divided by 8, that's 4. And 19 minus 13 divided by 8, that's 6 over 8, which is 3/4. So that's the two values for my x's. So let's write that up here. So x equals 4 or x equals 3/4. So now what I can do is I can substitute my value for x into these equations and then find my values for y corresponding to each different value. So let's take this off the board and then work on that. Okay, let's work on x equals 4. So let's work on this one first. X minus y equals 19 over 4. And then we can check it with this one here. Xy equals minus 3. Okay, x equals 4. So now I've got 4 minus y equals 19 over 4. So get this y on its own, subtract 4 to both sides. So I've got minus y equals 19 over 4 minus 16 over 4 to get the same denominator. 4 is the same as 16 over 4. Okay, so now I've got minus y equals 3 over 4. So therefore y equals minus 3/4. So let's put that there as my value to go with x equals 4. Let's just check it on here as well. So I've now got x is 4, so I've now got 4y equals minus 3. Get my y on its own, divide by 4, y equals minus 3/4. Okay, that checks out, that's good. So x equals 4, y equals minus 3/4. That's my first set of values. Now I need it for x equals 3/4. So let's clear this off the board and let's check what we can get for that. Okay, now let's try for x equals 3/4. Okay, substituting 3/4 for x into here. I've got 3/4 minus y equals 19 over 4. Okay, now let's bring the 3/4 on this side, so subtract 3/4 from both sides. So now I've got minus y equals 19 over 4 minus 3 over 4. So quite handily that's just going to become 16 over 4, which is just 4. So minus y equals 4, so therefore y equals minus 4. And let's just see if we get matching on this side. So 3/4. So I've got 3/4 y equals minus 3. Okay, let's multiply both sides by 4 to get this denominator cleared. So now I've got 3y equals minus 12. Okay, now let's get rid of this 3, divide both sides by 3. So y equals minus 4, and that will take care of that. So we've got the same on both sides. So when x equals 3/4, y equals minus 4. And that's my set of solutions for these two simultaneous equations. And that's where we can end it.